My name is Ricardo Pinal. Some 30 months ago, I was appointed director of this museum, and it was a great coincidence because I had been appointed for 15 minutes and we did the first TIPA lab, which was something very similar to this, extremely demanding, and I have extraordinary friends that I met in that opportunity. So I would like to start by thanking them for that. Every good museum director, if he starts talking, he needs to start talking about the Romans and the Greek. There's always necessary to have a marble figure behind you. So you learn to make history, and you learn to be a stoic. A stoic person is a person that gets wet under the rain and doesn't worry about that. We adore the goddess of fortune. He has this prodigal son that gives us a lot of things, and she also has a rudder that she uses to change destiny. And I'm telling you this why, because over the last 18 months when we started planning chaos, there were political changes, everything has happened, and we are virtually organizing another activity now. So the key in this activity is to keep the museum updated, to update museums. The same thing that you do with your cell phones or with your computers. Like, don't turn it off because it's installing updates. So don't cry over that. The complaint is actually that you need to stand there watching. So there's the City Museum, and it's the Museum of the City of Buenos Aires, and there's a set of shadows, the people that make the internet work and everything else working. But let me tell you what we're going to talk about. You probably want to complain about the politicians. Here's poor Seneca. Seneca. Do you know who was Seneca's boss? One was Caligula and the other was Neron, so my problem is not so serious, is it? So Buenos Aires is a city of euphemism. We don't say things the way they are, we say it differently. In Buenos Aires, no one lives, they are on a tour. No one is an outcast, they are in conflict with the criminal law. These are human recuperators and recyclers. They make wealth out of our garbage. They are pretty important people for us. There's an interesting article, 40% of the poorest youngsters do not work or study. For us, these are an extraordinary resource. When I talk about updating, is because we are kept awake at night about studying. There's a beautiful story, a new narration by a Brazilian author that told a very moving story, which is about kids from a shanty town that go to an upper class building, and they have bought a camera, and one of the girls left his little sister under the care of their parents, and when they approach, they are scared and they say, no, we are here to shoot you. They want to kidnap us. And they don't understand that everyone in the shanty towns is always opening the doors for them. They are always sharing their meals, and they don't understand why they aren't allowed in to see how others live. Those that have a swimming pool, a checking account, a car in our house, and so on and so forth. This is a monument that has just been transferred to us. It's called the Monumental Tower, the English Tower we call it, and it's not that it was given to us by the United Kingdom. In the centennial, it was given to us by British residents in Argentina. And today, the war has brought about certain conflicts, but it were these immigrants that brought this tower to us. So I often think how you can look at this from different windows. In the same space, we see the Cabana, which is apartments that are worth $1.5 million, and they're exactly at the same distance as Shantytown number 31. And some will probably just open a window to look at that tower too. We can train the people to educate them in our values in patrimony, these tangible places. In this very same place, there was a slave market in Buenos Aires once. once. That was the place where they had the bulls shows, and across from that was the first headquarters of General San Martin. And today we have this coexistence of Shanty 1, 31 and the Kavanagh building. So all we need to do is to open up our doors and to give ourselves the possibility of listening to them. At one point we thought, let's eradicate shanty towns. Today they are just one more neighborhood. And the government sometimes wastes resources. This is just lying out there. Someone had this idea of the museum to read. As you see, flat tires, no one is using it any longer. So this is what we could do, to take these cards to our parks, to train our people on these values so that they can actively listen. We, the guardians, the keepers of heritage, are not the ones that say that a certain behavior is valuable or a certain building is valuable. And if we exchange views, we will become so much richer. This is what is important about the city. These are our dreams. And we can know that this is a team that is capable of anything. We have taken this building out of ruins. They were in ruins. We started doing a project. They refurbished the walls, but they didn't refurbish the floors. And since they were building the floors outside, we said, it's only 200 square meters, why don't you do it? The only thing that resignifies our work is for people to come in here. So the exercise we're doing here today is literally constructive. I know that it's tough for everyone, but what they are giving us is incredible. Working here with so many professionals, there are a lot of university students, and they challenge us, and they tell us to do things. So we open up our doors. Some of them were worried, how can we lend them this patrimony? It's a chair, come on. I mean, they're all museum directors. What are they going to break? I'm almost done here. But let me go off topic a little bit, off my 6 minutes. I want to thank very especially Américo Castilla. There's a saying among us that power does not change people, shows them the way they are. When we started talking, Américo was the director of the Tipa Foundation, which is an NGO, a very important NGO, but an NGO. And he was talking to us. Now, in these 18 months, fortunately, Américo Castilla has become the national director of museums. He is now responsible for many of the most important platforms of the city, because the city is part of the country. The commitment that Américo took with us a year ago is maintained. He could have said, check that out, the Cabildo, the National History Museum. Now everyone is here. Of course, I have exceeded my 6 minutes. I want to thank you for your presence here. And this is exactly what we deserve. Thank you very much.